Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Michael Branch here on Twitter posting this. Okay, Ledger CEO says Recover service is expected to go live by the end of the year. Yes, the controversial Recover service that Ledger did announce a few months ago, the one that got many in the XRP community and crypto community at large very concerned that Ledger was not safe. Since then, they did come out and explain what the service was going to be. So Pascal Gauthier, he did come out with this reminder that Ledger customers do now have the option to have that backdoor service available to them in case they forget their passphrase or whatever. Down here, he said, "I've been booed at Bitcoin Miami." Gauthier said in an interview with The Block last week, "It was the day after the Ledger Recover thing, and I was sure that he was booing me for this. In fact, the audience member in question, a longtime Ledger customer, was angry about Ledger not offering a Bitcoin-only wallet. This entirely separate issue," Gauthier said, "has irked some users since 2017. In 6 years, you will have a guy who's going to boo me at a conference because of Ledger Recover. It's okay. It's part of our life when we do crypto. To be honest, I've got thick skin." So the Ledger Recover service, again, an opt-in service. It is optional. It is not going to be installed on all the wallets as far as I know. I've been personally using the Ledger Nano since 2017 myself, and I've never had a problem with them. Take it for what you will. I do have an affiliate link in the description of the video just because I am so positive on Ledger and I do use it myself. I know there are many other options out there too for you guys if you want to use something different, so you don't have to use my affiliate link if you do not want to. It's not about that. I do have it there for ease of use if you guys are still looking for a crypto custody solution. And yeah, I've never had a problem with them. Anyway, wanted to thank Michael for posting that. Crypto 80 bringing this up with regards to yesterday's video. The New York State Department of Financial Services yesterday did announce that they were removing XRP and Dogecoin from their list of cryptocurrencies that they are green lighting. And so if you guys didn't catch yesterday's video, I will link it up here in the top right hand corner. Here is Adrian Harris, talking about this decision. This was an interview with the Wall Street Journal a couple of days ago, talking with DC Daily. Today, over 24 token assets are off the NY green list, including XRP and Doge. Listen to this.
Not a day that goes by when either I or a member of my team are talking with national regulators, other state regulators, international regulators. We are very friendly with the alphabet soup in DC and really do talk with them daily. Same goes for Treasury, Congress. We really are deeply engaged, and I was incredibly gratified during the markup of the House Financial Services bill when Representative McHenry said we should be looking to New York. New York is a leader in the space, and we hear that refrain over and over again from the federal government and from international regulators. We already know that, especially internationally, regulators will look at companies that are licensed in New York and say, "This is great. This is a stamp of approval. This is the good housekeeping seal," and it makes their review easier.
I think Chip down here has kind of nailed it. They should avoid looking into New York. New York's leadership is second only to the SEC, and we don't need that type of leadership. Considering XRP has clarity, yet New York is deciding not to list it. That doesn't make sense to me. Sounds like a political agenda. Anyway, wanted to thank Sentosumo Saba here for posting that. They're going to try tooth and nail, but no matter how hard they try, Ripple and XRP are going to succeed. This one from Hugh Breslin on Twitter. Part of the incumbent pushback against Ripple and XRP is that their success would change the pecking order in the global financial system, specifically for Tier 1 banks. And guys, this is why, it used to be that those Tier 1 banks would offer up their Nostro and Vostro accounts to the smaller banks, the second tier and the third tier banks, and they would actually pay them a fee to use Nostro and Vostro. Well, that's all changing, and so that is a huge chunk of their possible revenue taken away. Panos here even explaining it in this tweet thread. XRP is one of the biggest threats to the big banks. Blockchain technology, crypto, and especially XRP are destroying the bank's monopoly and disintermediating them in many ways. In a time when global economy is more connected than ever, it's shocking that there isn't a complete payments network that allows seamless and efficient transfer of money around the world. The need for connection, accessibility, and interoperability has never been greater. Every day, people and businesses rely on payments to conduct transactions, of course, but the current financial system is outdated and inefficient, and there's no interoperability. So SWIFT, owned by some of the biggest banks, is the most popular system for sending money around the world, but we obviously know SWIFT cannot handle the transactions, and it's just not efficient, it's not fast enough, so on and so forth, because it's difficult for banks, especially especially the small to medium ones, to have direct relationships and pre-fund money with most of the other banks around the world. They rely on the big ones to act as middlemen, as I explained before. So 99% of the banks around the world rely on the other big players. For this to happen, of course, the 99% pays a lot of the fees to the 1%, which also leads to higher costs for the end customer. This is called correspondent banking, and this is how a typical cross-border payment works. And so he outlines this in this JPEG image here, which I will link. I will link his whole tweet thread in the description of the video. There have been some improvements over the last few years with faster and cheaper payments, but these are targeting only the big and efficient corridors and have to do with the biggest economies. But what about the rest of the world? The issue does remain. Ripple was the first company after 4 decades to threaten the system in such big depth. They found a powerful weapon and decided to leverage it to democratize the financial system, i.e. the XRP ledger, and the weapon, of course, was XRP. XRP is lightning fast. It's a low-cost, decentralized cryptocurrency native to an open-source, permissionless blockchain system called the XRP ledger. Anyone can leverage this technology, and Ripple has, and they're succeeding, guys. XRP, used as a bridge currency in a cross-border payment, can eliminate the need for pre-funding liquidity, as well as the need for many correspondent and intermediary banks. It also eliminates credit and liquidity risk from the process, lowering bank costs considerably. For the first time, there is a tool that enables instant settlement with actual transfer of value. With XRP, institutions only have to hold their domestic currency and maintain one account with XRP, which minimizes the number of intermediaries involved and their markup on spreads. They also don't have to trust anybody, since XRP is universal, jurisdictionless, and decentralized, which gets into the point that I'm going to be making later in the video. The big banks are making billions of dollars every year because they have been using the SWIFT system, and because the SWIFT system is a monopoly. The main difference between them is that SWIFT means just an exchange of data, while Ripple means an exchange of value. Nobody else in the world offers an exchange of value except for those that leverage crypto and blockchain technology, and XRP is the most efficient one of these. It makes you think about the lawsuit, of course, and the reason the lawsuit has been going on for as long as it has been is because these people are bought and paid for. Adrian Harris. And they are actively trying to slow down crypto. So, when we see this, the New York State Department of Financial Services removing XRP, that doesn't make any sense. It's got clarity. So why the removal? Things that make you go, right? Another topic that has been coming up, this was from a few days ago. Should I buy Ripple stock or should I invest in XRP? I recently did a video on that as well, and I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. This article just highlights actually another tweet from Panos. Basically, here, I'll just bring up his tweet directly here. Ripple stock or XRP? He says, if you believe more in Ripple and their business model, then go for Ripple stock. If you believe more in XRP and the XRPL, which is a universal digital asset used for multiple use cases and a tech that anyone can use and build upon, go for XRP. The other thing you should probably consider too is what the price appreciation will be, XRP versus Ripple stock when it is finally IPO'd. So at the end of the day, what it does boil down to essentially is, what do you actually believe in? XRP, Ripple stock, but also the potential for XRP and how high it could in fact go in the coming, even just in the coming year or two over this next bull run. This morning, I talked a little bit about that 27x multiplier theory, the fact that XRP could in fact reach as high as $90 per coin. Not saying it's going to happen, guys, but there was a theory brought to us by Eggreg Crypto, which I did talk about this morning. I'll link that video up here in the top right-hand corner. Even if it doesn't go to $90 per coin, though, the appreciation prospects, I think, for XRP are way higher. Even just to get back up to all-time high from today's prices, you would see a 550% increase for XRP. Now, are you really going to see Ripple stock go up just as high? Just something to consider. So I wanted to thank Panos there for some great tweet threads. Let me remind you too of the metrics because, despite the fact that price isn't really moving right now, we do have to pay attention to what's happening on chain. This one courtesy of XRP Crypto Wolf on Twitter. So XRP making massive comeback per this particular metric here. So Keiko, they're a crypto analytics firm. Keiko, in a new tweet, drew recent attention to the fact that XRP liquidity has improved significantly after July's court ruling in the Ripple SEC case. So because of the lawsuit, guys, we're actually seeing more XRP trading overall. The volume is growing, and I'm assuming this is growing on many different exchanges, not just one particular exchange. It adds that market depth rose from an average of $8 million in June to $12 million in early September despite XRP's price and volume falling. So Keiko did post this. XRP liquidity has improved significantly after July's ruling. Okay, basically exactly what the summary says. After legal wrangling of the SEC, Ripple received the decision in July. This obviously has helped matters. The reaction was profound after the landmark ruling. XRP surpassed BTC and Ethereum in volume, which we talked about the other day. And this accounts for as much as 21% of global crypto trade volume in the days after the ruling. So, guys, the metrics don't lie. People are purchasing XRP. They're buying, they're selling. The point is the volume's up. More people are holding, more people are interested, which means if more people are trading, this is going to account for more volatility when the bulls run, and price will, in fact, go even higher, probably higher than what we saw back in 2021 when XRP couldn't, in fact, breach its all-time high. So definitely something we should be considering, guys. Wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for posting that, and obviously Keiko for making that observation clear to XRP hodlers. Michael Branch here also bringing this up. So, when we consider what XRP is going to be utilized for, we got to also take into context where the world is and what countries have decided to do, guys. This one specifically has to do with Zimbabwe. So BRICS messaging about de-dollarization could get even messier if Zimbabwe joins the group's bank. Here is what is going on, guys, with Zimbabwe. They want to join the bank founded by the BRICS group of emerging nations, but a de-dollarization debate has started before the country's application has been approved. Tide Biti, a former Zimbabwe finance minister, has said there could be an economic disaster if the current administration of President Emerson Mnangagwa decides to ditch the dollar. Biti wrote in an X post on Thursday that any move away from the greenback has a zany attempt to follow the global de-dollarization agenda being pursued by BRICS and some other of these advocates, referring to the bloc of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This move will be an absolute disaster and will cost workers and pensioners, he wrote. So here is the tweet to that effect. The regime is intent on de-dollarization. This move will be an absolute disaster and will cost workers and pensioners. Conditions for de-dollarization don't exist. Move is a zany attempt, zany, that's a great word to use, zany attempt to follow global de-dollarization agenda being pursued by BRICS and some other of these advocates. He also said Zimbabwe didn't have the economic conditions to ditch the dollar. Biti's comments added to an intense ongoing debate over the de-dollarization as Zimbabwe applied to join for BRICS. The disclosure has been fanned by fears that Washington is weaponizing the dollar-denominated global financial system against Russia. And so, the financial war wages on. This meeting ended without any announcements about a common currency, and during the summit, leaders from the BRICS nations even gave contradictory statements about de-dollarization. So that was the other thing. There was this whole push that, no, we're not looking to debase the US dollar. But what they failed to acknowledge is that by using your own system, you are going to inadvertently debase the US dollar. Even if you don't intend to, it's going to happen anyway. There are so many countries that want to join BRICS or that are already included in the BRICS nations that, represent so much of the world's economy now that de-dollarization is almost inevitable, even if you don't intend on it. So, they were wording it very, very carefully at the BRICS summit. Nevertheless, here we have Zimbabwe and the controversy there. Ian Binns also bringing this up. Okay, BRICS currency to be linked with gold. Now, I talked about this in a video I did yesterday where Jim Rickards explained it as perfectly as always. We're going to have a common currency, the BRICS dollar, and it's going to be linked to a weight of gold. And guys, if you didn't catch yesterday's video, it's okay. I'm going to play this clip again because it really does link into what I'm going to be talking about next. So if you've seen it, maybe a refresher for you guys, courtesy of Ingrid here. This was Jim Rickards from a talk he did on September the 15th. Listen to this.
We're going to have a common currency, and it will be, now here, this is important. I would say gold linked. There was a lot of misunderstanding about this. Everyone's saying gold backed, get your BRICS unit. Let's call it a brick. I mean, I don't know what they're going to call it, but, 1 unit is defined as a weight of gold. And we don't know what the weight is, so I'll just say an ounce. It could be a kilo. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to call it. I don't know what the weight is, but 1 unit would be defined as a weight of gold. So let's say 1 brick, if you want to call it that, equals 1 ounce of gold. Now, here I go back to Aristotle, who kind of invented the transitive law. And this is the brilliance, and this is all Russia behind it. This is, they didn't invent chess, but it is their national sport. So if you say 1 brick equals an ounce of gold, and the weight doesn't matter, it's just math. And we know that a weight of gold has a dollar value because the global gold market is in dollars, and you can buy gold with euros, but all the pricing, the futures, the derivatives, the unallocated forwards, all the junk that JP Morgan sells, all of that is in dollars. So if a brick equals an ounce of gold equals, today, whatever, 1950, give or take, through a simple transitive law, you get a brick dollar exchange rate. But here's the key. You're not linking the brick to the dollar. You're linking the brick to a weight of gold, which means that as the dollar value of gold fluctuates and one brick is pegged to gold, the brick dollar exchange rate is floating through a transitive law, but the bricks don't have to do any work. In other words, make the dollar investors in the United States do all the dirty work. They have to maintain the market. They got to speculate. They got to hedge. They got to commit capital. The bricks are just free riders. They just sit there and say, "Babe, we're an ounce of gold. Gold, what is it today? Let's take a look." So that's part of the brilliance of this. And by the way, this is exactly what John Maynard Keynes proposed to Bretton Woods.
So there it is, a bit of a refresher from yesterday's video. Jim Rickards, talking about how this BRICS currency, this new currency, is not going to be backed by gold, but linked to gold, okay? A specific distinction there. So that brings me, of course, to this next video clip, courtesy of Black Swan Capitalist Verson here on Twitter. A great interview with Jim Willie as he explains a unique perspective on XRP's role within the BRICS to corner central banks into a new currency. So if you guys did not catch this video, I do suggest you watch it. I will link this in the description of my video. A great interview here with Jim Willie. And if you guys don't know, I have discussed in former videos what Jim Willie's opinion is on the current financial system. I recently did one, it's a few months ago now, about how, XRP is going to complement the sunsetting of the US dollar. And if you guys didn't catch that video that I did a few months ago, I think it was January, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Some interesting insight coming from Jim Willie. Now, Black Swan Capitalist Verson here recently did an interview with Jim Willie, so brace yourselves. XRP could truly disrupt the status quo, and here is why.
XRP is going to be like an alternative gold solution. I believe the United States is going to go dragging, kicking, screaming, and killing. And they're not going to want the BRICS gold token, but they're going to accept the XRP, and they're going to tell the U.S. citizens that it's not gold backed, and they will lie. That's how XRP is going to be used. European nations will use it as a compromise. The United States might use it as a compromise. And wherever it gets used, you guys, it's not going to go away. It's going to grow and not go backwards. That's how it goes to $100, $200, and maybe $500. You're going to block SWIFT usage. Yes. For trade settlement, we'll go to XRP as an alternative.
It is just going to keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny, and it's not going away. $100, $200, $500 for an XRP. It's going to be used, at least as far as Jim Willie is speculating here, going to be used as a compromise because, the BRICS countries coming in hot with their, idea to create a currency that is going to be linked to gold, as we heard from Jim Rickards in that last clip. But really, what's going to happen? They need an agnostic cryptocurrency to transfer value, and it's going to almost be like a compromise. So Jim Willie here with some great insight with regards to how XRP is going to be utilized, guys. Again, the value proposition for XRP, I think, is higher than Ripple stock. I mean, just to get up to former all-time high, that is a 550% increase. And guys, just think about that in terms of your investment. If you have invested $10,000 into XRP and you see that increase by 550%, well, now you have profited $55,000. Your $10,000 becomes a $65,000 investment, and that's just getting up to all-time high. Imagine this long-term proposition, the compromise that these global elites are going to have to take. So again, if you want to watch this full interview, I will link it in the description for you. Wanted to thank Verson at Black Swan Capitalist. But anyway, guys, this is just the beginning, and XRP still a fairly attractive price, in my opinion. Of course, that's not financial advice, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.